Hey guys, I'm D'Angelo for TravelCostaRicaNOW.com. And today, guys, is going to be one of those big cup of coffee kind of days. This is a long story. I hope to get it all out in its entirety. Not sure how I'm going to do this, but hopefully, the right amount of coffee. Anything's possible, right? Guys, the future of this channel of Travel Costa Rica Now, the YouTube videos, and the website are all in jeopardy. We are about to lose all of it, and I'm here today to tell you why, tell you what's happening, to fill you in, as we haven't put a video out in a month, and you're clueless as to what's going on. I respect all of you guys. I thank you for coming along the journey with us throughout these 19 years, and being there by our sides and listening to us. But like I said, this channel is in jeopardy. It is trying to be shut down. It is trying to be taken away. It is trying to be erased from the record books. And I need your help to keep it going. I need your help to not have that happen. Michael and I started 19 years ago on our journey in Costa Rica and the internet. We came down here and we didn't know what we were doing. We sort of fell into the internet. It was new at the time. We didn't know what we were doing on the internet either. We had no clue how to do anything. Luckily, our neighbor was an internet guy. He was on one of the first reality TV shows on the internet, and he came back from the United States and on his reality show, and he was all gung-ho about the internet and how the internet's the future and how we need to get on the internet and we need to start up marketing websites and seminars, and we need to sell. He was a big internet salesman. Well, in that, he, myself, Michael, and another guy started up a website called Costa Rica Travel Channel. And Costa Rica Travel Channel was just like YouTube. Exactly like YouTube, except for the colors were green and yellow. And every content of video on our Travel Costa Rica channel, Costa Rica Travel Channel, sorry, or every content on the Costa Rica Travel Channel had to pertain to Costa Rica. So anybody could come in, anybody could upload their video, anybody could pop up their vacation video, their tour video, their hotel review, whatever they wanted. As long as it was on Costa Rica, you could upload it and put it onto our website. That website lasted, I don't know, maybe about a year. It was a great idea. It just didn't last long because it cost a lot of money to run, cost a lot of money to host that at that time. Hosting was a lot for videos, and we just didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know how to do it. So through that, Michael and I branched off, and that's where we created a media wiki site. And that's how Travel Costa Rica Now was born. It started off as a media wiki site where we had tons of information, giving you guys all the information we could find on Costa Rica. We had about 300 pages of information for you, anywhere from the size of the volcanoes to what a jaguaro is. If you don't know what a jaguaro is, that's the Costa Rican national bird. We've had information just on the different tropical plants around Costa Rica, the microclimates around Costa Rica, the different national parks and beaches, everything around Costa Rica. It was a very intense labor of love we put together for that website, and it got us quite far in our journey. With that is when Michael and I started doing our videos. We started posting videos to YouTube. I believe 2008 is when we finally started with the YouTube channel, and started posting YouTubes of just our trips around Costa Rica, what we were doing, where we were going, um, getting it up and out there for the rest of YouTube view and see. So over the years, that turned into a relocation uh, opportunity for us. And Michael and I started up another website called Truth Costa Rica. Truth Costa Rica was Michael and I giving you one-on-one tours around our area of Costa Rica, giving you just a relocation retreat in itself, a little mini relocation retreat, a one-on-one, and taking you to different areas around here, talking to lawyers around here, talking to real estate agents, and showing you property, and just seeing if Costa Rica is right for you. But this was all a more on one-on-one thing that we did. It was we had no big group of people like they do now with the relocation tours. That lasted a few years until it kind of got a little bit too much for Michael and I to just do it on our own and to travel with people and to show you guys around. And at that time, the company vehicle, my car, was not doing its best, so we had to retire that. And we retired Truth Costa Rica for a while as well. During all this, we've started up a third website, blog type of thing. It was more of a blog, but it was more informational videos or informational content, like our Costa Rica travel channel was, and our Travel Costa Rica Now was. But this was all in a blog form. So it was doing Costa Rica all in blog form, and that was actually the title of a lot of our earlier videos. If they're still out there, so you go back into our archives, you'll see them. The whole front of it starts up as Doing Costa Rica with D'Angelo and Michael Allen. And it was us just traveling around, and that's how we started our travel videos around here with Doing Costa Rica. And later just everything stuck with TravelCostaRicaNOW.com. So, TravelCostaRicaNOW.com, our baby, has been going on for 19 years. It has been a labor of love, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and a lot of tears went into this project. It has been quite the journey. It definitely has. I have to say, yesterday, the day before was just 1 month since Michael's passing. It has been the worst month in my life. I still don't know how I'm doing it. I still don't know how I'm making it throughout these days. It has been a struggle. It has been unfathomable, the amount of problems and issues and things I'm having to go through right now. It's not easy. It's not getting any easier. And like I said, the future of this channel is now in jeopardy. So a month ago, on April 26th at 6:12 in the evening, I was getting ready to go out and have dinner with some friends when I got a phone call from Matthew the son. Matthew the son told me he was here in Costa Rica, and then he proceeded to tell me why he was here in Costa Rica. That his father had died. He was there at the hospital, and it had happened suddenly. Nobody knew it was happening. As you know, it was pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer hit him very fast. He went into the hospital on a Friday. He had lots of stomach pain, stomach discomfort. They did a lot of checks to find out what it would be. They found a lump in his system. They did a biopsy, and by Wednesday, the biopsy came back and told them it was pancreatic cancer. he was in a lot of pain. He couldn't eat. He had no symptoms beforehand. He would eat, and about 4 hours later, he'd have some stomach pain and some stomach discomfort, and that's how it started. And every time he ate, 4 hours later, he'd just have some stomach pains and some stomach discomfort. And then it went to 3 hours after he ate. Then it went to 2 hours after he ate. Then it went to 1 hour, and by Wednesday, he just couldn't eat anymore. He was afraid to eat. Every time he put food near his mouth, he just hurt. He couldn't swallow. Everything he tried to swallow just hurt. It wasn't good. So by Wednesday, he found out he had pancreatic cancer. The doctor said it is pretty far. There's slim chances of recovering from it. They didn't know exactly how long he would have. They first told him possibly a month or two, and by the end of Wednesday, and by Thursday, they were telling him that it's happening now. He doesn't have much to live. He needs to get his affairs in order, and he needs to say his last goodbyes. As we all know, Saturday is when he passed. He found out on Wednesday, and he passed on Saturday. It happened extremely fast. Extremely fast. He had no time to do anything. He never left the hospital. He never left his room. He never got to do anything again after that. Friday, late Thursday and Friday, he was put on oxygen. He was heavily medicated. Saturday, Matthew flew in. Matthew was helicoptered over to Ciudad Quesada. Matthew got to spend 2 hours with him. Again, he was heavily medicated. He couldn't speak. Matthew and the group that was there, Johnny and Johnny's family, left the room to take a break. And during that break, Michael passed away. He passed away alone in his room with nobody there. And Matthew started making the phone calls. The doctors gave Matthew an option of trying to do some surgery to prolong him a little bit, but Matthew opted out on doing the surgery and said this is not something his father would have wanted. Fast forward a day. Matthew's calling me, or my phone is beeping. I'm looking at my phone. There's messages from Google on my phone telling me somebody's trying to get into my email accounts, the company email accounts, Travel Costa Rica NOW. I get 1, 2, 3. I get about 5 messages from Google telling me somebody's trying to get into Travel Costa Rica NOW's emails. I message Matthew and I ask him, Matthew, is this you? Are you trying to get into the company emails? I'm getting a bunch of alerts. Somebody's trying to get into the company emails. I finally hear back from him, and he says, yes, that is him. He's trying to log in from his computer. So I let him know that I have to accept him. I have to acknowledge that it is a new computer and that it is somebody that I'm aware logging into the system. We log Matthew into the system. Matthew does whatever Matthew's doing into the system, taking a look at the system, taking a look at what's going on with the company. I'm just in distraught over the passing of Michael. I don't think anything of it, and I let him just go ahead and do whatever it is that he's wanting to do, whatever he's wanting to look at. He's family after all. I don't have any bad intentions or wills towards him, nor do I think he has towards me. Later that day, I get a phone call from Matthew, and we talk about an hour and a half on the phone. He's very cocky and arrogant throughout this phone call, letting me know that he's taking it over. He's going to be in charge. He's the new head of the company. He's going to be in charge of the company and move forward with the company. And he doesn't know who to trust in Costa Rica. He doesn't know anybody here. I'm the only person he knows in this country, and I've known Matthew for 21 years. He doesn't know who else to trust. He doesn't know who else within the company is trustworthy. He's just been thrown into this, and he doesn't know how to navigate it just yet. But with his very cocky and arrogant attitude, he's telling me that I'm not part of the company, and he would like for me to get together with him at some point to see what my role would be in the company and how I would fit in as an employee working for him. We go on and on for about an hour and a half, and within that hour and a half, he continues and he tells me that I have zero rights to the company. I have zero rights to anything in Michael's life. I am basically, in his words, a fuck buddy of his father's, and I don't deserve anything. He tells me I am not in any way, shape, or form part of the company or part of his father's life. And I will have to prove that to him, and I will have to show him receipts. I will have to show him billing information. I will have to show him anything and everything I can to prove to him that I deserve $1 of the company or any assets of his father's. Needless to say, that did not sit well with me. I am not going to sit there and argue with him over the phone. I've put 21 years of my life into a life with Michael. We were married. We were very much part of each other's lives. We had a very unconventional marriage, but it worked for us. We didn't live together towards the end, but we were very much part of each other's lives, and we lived 3 blocks away from each other and saw each other every day, every other day. Michael and I were inseparable. And now I have some punk loser telling me I am nothing in his father's life. That didn't sit well with me. I didn't know what to do. I hung up and tried to regroup. A few days go by, and I get a phone call. About 4 or 5 days go by after Michael's death, and I get a second phone call. This time it's from Johnny. I didn't answer, so he asked me to call him back when I get a chance. I'm completely in mourning. I don't know what's happening with my life. I don't know what's going on. All I know is my husband's dead. My company's being taken from me. I I'm out of the loop on everything. Um, and I'm not hearing from anybody on anything. So I called Johnny back, and he answers the phone, and he says, "Hey, how's it going?" Complete disrespect. Zero respect for me. Complete disrespect. Johnny was a friend for many years. Johnny didn't call me once to give his condolences. He didn't call me once to tell me what was going on. You see him in all the videos that Michael made about medical tourism down here. He was our go-to medical guru guy. Anything medical or dental you needed, we sent you over to Johnny. Johnny was the one that helped you and handheld you through your medical procedures, your dental procedures, your gastric bypasses, your plastic surgery, whatever it is that you were looking for. That was the guy we sent you to. And obviously, he was the guy Michael went to help during this situation as well. Johnny had all the ins with the hospital. He knew who to call, who to talk to, which doctors to go to, which doctor specializes in what. And Johnny was able to help with every step of this process. I talked to Johnny after I was able to regain my breath and move on from his shitty hello, and let him know that I'm not doing well, that my husband just passed, and I'm left in the dark as to what's going on, what happened. And of course, he knows everything and is keeping it from me. He then proceeds to semi-apologize and tell me that he couldn't tell me anything. Michael asked him not to tell me anything. Michael asked him to keep it a secret from everybody. Michael did not want anybody to know what was going on. A, because they didn't know what was going on. And B, because it just happened too fast. Johnny said when he found out it was pancreatic cancer, Michael didn't want anyone at all to know. During this conversation, the will hadn't been read. The will was coming out in a couple of days, so we didn't know anything about. I didn't know anything about the will. They obviously knew everything about the will. Johnny proceeds to tell me that Matthew's is in charge. Matthew's taking over. Matthew's going to be the new face of Travel Costa Rica Now. Michael willed everything to Matthew. Everything that Michael had, he willed to Matthew, which we would later find out the following Monday that is what happened. Or at least they found out. I didn't. They would not tell me. They would not inform me. They would not give me a copy of the will. This conversation with Johnny was about 15, 20 minutes. 28 minutes at the most. It was a lot of silence. A lot of crying on my end. Trying to breathe and figure out what is happening. Johnny obviously knows something and is not telling me. Throughout the conversation, I hear Matthew in the background. They have me on speakerphone. And they tell me that Michael willed everything to Matthew and none of it's mine. So my next question is, how is this legal? How is it legal for Michael to give away my half of the company? The half company that I created, that I built, that I spent 19 years working on with him. This company is mine as much as it is Michael's. We worked on this together from day one. We moved to this country together from day one. Johnny's response was a fucked up, shitty response. Basically saying, D'Angelo, Michael and I created a new corporation 2 years ago. And we didn't include you in the corporation. Therefore, this company is no longer yours. The company is Michael's and myself, being Johnny. And now that Michael's dead, it's 100% Johnny's company. A major slap in the face, but I ask him to repeat that. Again, how is this legal that they take me off the company that I created? And he says, just straightforward, I created a corporation with Michael and we did not include you in the corporation. This time another fucking slap in the face from Johnny. Thanks, Johnny. You turned out to be a great friend. I don't know how you sleep at night, Johnny. You know you did not put a fucking hour of work into this company throughout these years. You didn't put a dime into this company. And now you're claiming this company as yours because Michael is lazy and Michael doesn't know the language. He put you on the corporation so you could help him get everything legal. He put you on the corporation so you can help him with the banking, help him with the hacienda, with the government taxes, to get the company legal because he didn't know the language. Yes, that's Michael's stupidity for doing that. And let that be a lesson to everyone watching. Do not put somebody on your corporation and give them any actions into your corporation just because they speak the language. Michael knew better. Michael absolutely knew better than to do that. Why he did that? I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. He's did a couple of videos in the last couple of months letting you know that making this company legal was one of the hardest things he had to do to make sure all the ducks were aligned up. And I know he couldn't have done it without Johnny's help. Johnny was a big help in navigating that system. Johnny's fluent in the language. Johnny knows which government buildings to go to, which paperworks need to be filled out, which stamps need to be collected and paid. But that does not give Johnny a right to own any part of this corporation. There's other legal ways Michael could have done this and had Johnny in the corporation to help him out and left him with zero actions into the corporation. But that's not what he did. So that's not where we're at now. Johnny is claiming 100% legal ownership of my company now and is not wanting to relinquish anything. He's a fucking scumbag. And he knows he does not deserve this company. the way he went about it. There was another corporation before this that they had to dissolve. So if Johnny wants to continue with the legal aspects of this company as his, then we will go ahead and get the government involved as to why they dismantled the last corporation. We can open up that can of worms any day you want, Johnny. Johnny is what we call a super fan. Johnny has been a super fan from day one. And in this line of fame and YouTube and being popular on the internet, you're becoming a mini celebrity. People gravitate to you. People think they know you. People feel like they're part of your lives. We get a lot of super fans. Johnny just happened to be a super fan that lived nearby. Once he found out where we lived, he made a point to come through and try and meet up and try and ingrain himself in our little circle. We found a niche for him within the medical tourism part and branched out our medical tourism to include him into it. Every step of the way, this super fan tried to find anything he can do to get involved with the company. Anything he can do to get involved with Michael's life. We get quite a few super fans throughout the years. They definitely do gravitate. They definitely do change their lives to try and circle themselves and get closer to you. Most of them are men. There were a few women. I believe all the men were straight, but the way they acted, the way they gravitate, and the way they have the need to be circled and be close to you is throws up a lot of red flags, but of their sexuality. But again, it's just a super fan wanting to be close. And Michael and I used to make fun of Johnny and make fun of ourselves, really, and say that we were going to die one day. We were going to be killed. We would always correlate it with Yolanda Saldivar and say he was going to off us one day. Any of you know Yolanda Saldivar? She was the super fan for Selena Cantanita. Selena the singer. She was her super fan, which became her fan club manager. Ended up killing her. Michael and I would make fun of each other all the time and say, this super fan's going to do that to us one day. The super fan is so knee-deep into our company and so knee-deep into wanting to be around us and so knee-deep into wanting to get involved with us to the point where it's just a little creepy now. Sorry, I'm going to cut in with this video because I forgot to add about my last conversation with Michael. It was 3 days prior to his death. He was sending Superfan over to my house to pick up some paperwork, and Michael and I got into it as to why is this Superfan always meddling in our business? Why is he always involved in everything? Everything we do, everything that goes on, the Superfan is always in the middle of it. And now I'll have that as my last conversation with him was an argument about why is the Superfan in the middle of everything. Me taking the back approach in the company and not doing as much in the last couple years gave a great opening for the superfan to get in and the superfan to ingrain himself even more and more into our company and into Michael's life. Again, Michael did not speak the language, so anything in Spanish, the superfan was willing and happily able and capable and doing his best to make sure it got done for Michael. We've had numerous superfans throughout the years. I would say there's one other superfan that tops this one. A female superfan that moved from the States to here to live near Michael. She changed her entire life. She moved here and stalked him. Michael being lonely, he had no friends. He did not like a lot of people. We had expat groups that meet up every month. He would not go to them. He was a loner. He just wanted to stay home. He didn't want to hang out with people. And he eventually gravitated towards his superfans and allowed them to be part of his life as they would do anything he asked. Michael helped this medical superfan create a YouTube channel, gave him pointers on how to make a channel, how to get out there, how to be YouTube famous. He pushed people his direction. He gave him a job in the Travel Costa Rica NOW company, helping Michael with translation and banking and doing facturas and all the taxes. He gave this superfan wife a job. She became Travel Costa Rica NOW's accountant. She did the accounting in the last couple of years for Travel Costa Rica NOW. Michael didn't know any better, didn't know how much an accounting should cost. How many of you out there watching this video have a business here in Costa Rica? How many of you have an accountant dealing with your business accounting every month? If you have an accountant and you pay your accountant to help you with your company, please do me a favor. Write down in the comments, how much do you pay your accountant every month? What do you pay your accountant to help you with your accounting for your company? It's a monthly payment. It's a monthly job the accountant has to do for your taxes, monthly taxes. What do you guys pay? His wife were charging Michael $600 a month. Now, for any of you that don't know anything about accounting and banking and the business down here, $600 a month is a lot. It is a ripoff. Michael didn't know any better, and he knew Johnny was struggling. He knew the superfan was not making his bills at home, was having to move out of his house, was having to relocate into his company office, knew the superfan and his wife were hurting for money. So he was paying him, but ended up confronting him and asking him about it. The superfan apologized, knew he was in the wrong, said they were going to renegotiate, tried to make an excuse that it was a backlog of taxes, a backlog of information that had to be done and put into the system. Wasn't much of a backlog if they created this company a year and a half ago to get away from all the other taxes. Check the comments, see what other people are paying. Please, write what your accounting down here costs. so we can everyone can see the difference on what this Yolanda was doing. So between the son telling me I'm just his father's fuck buddy, and the super fan telling me I'm no longer part of the corporation and this company, neither one of them felt I deserve any part of the company and wanted me involved. I could not argue. I did not argue. I did not say much. Like, again, that conversation was a very quiet conversation of me just trying to get my thoughts and figure out what was happening. They kept me in the dark on everything, and they both, Johnny knew everything. Johnny knew everything that was going on from day one. So I hung up. I went to my computer and I blocked them. I blocked them from Travel Costa Rica Now. I blocked them from the YouTube videos. I blocked them from the Google Gmails. And I blocked them from everything that has to do with Travel Costa Rica Now. Give me a minute. I'm going to go get me some more coffee. So they wanted to see my proof that I was part of Michael's life and that I was part of this company. And the proof was that I had access to the whole company. I have access to the emails. I have access to the website. I have access to everything because it is my company. It was Michael and my project, and we shared this company together. I have no desire to put them back into this company. Unfortunately, with that, they have Michael's final video. So a lot of you have asked about Michael's final video that he created in the hospital, and they have access to that. They're not sharing that. They're not letting me look at it or upload it. So, and I don't want anything from them. They're not getting this channel back. They're going to try their best and do what you have to do. But I am not going to relinquish this channel to them. They're not going to be part of the Travel Costa Rica Now team. And this has become a huge legal battle now, as they're claiming this is their company now. Matthew and Superfan are claiming this is their company. So, Michael made a will on his deathbed. This is something Michael would have never done. Michael and I have talked about wills throughout our entire lives. I have a will for the last 14 years. Everything of mine goes to Michael. Michael would not make a will. He just was scared of a will. He just did not want to do it. He just kept saying everything his is mine. His life here in Costa Rica is my life. We moved down here together. We created this life together. We did everything together down here. What is mine is yours. What is yours is mine. This is how it was for the last 21 years. Michael was married before in the States, and he had 2 children. That life Michael had in the States was basically that, his life in the States. When he moved here, this was a completely different ballpark, something completely different that he didn't mix the two. His life in the States was a very terrible life for him towards the end. He had a bad breakup, a bad divorce, and a bad family split. I've traveled. I've met his family. I've met his ex-wife. I've met his kids. I've gone on double dates with his kids. I've traveled around on the other side of the world to meet his kids. Michael and I moved here in 2005 to start our lives in Costa Rica, and his ex-wife and kids moved to Fiji, where they won a big house in Fiji right before they split as a family. They won a huge $1 million+ South Polynesian home right on the ocean. It's a there's only it's in a remote island of Fiji. It's one of the larger islands. There are movie stars that are his neighbors, and there is only 2 docks on the entire island. One in the main island to get to the town, and the only other dock is in his backyard. It is a beautiful home. It was a huge home. It was created specifically for the reality show that they were on. The kids and the wife went there to go live their life there, while Michael and I moved here to live our lives here. Throughout the year, Michael supported their lives in Fiji until it just got to be too much because they were just living a life on an island. They weren't working. They weren't doing anything. Fishing all day. It wasn't... There was no money to be made. So Michael had to stop funding their life, and they ended up yachting around for a while. They ended up in Australia, and that's where Michael and I went and visited them in Australia for 2 months. I've hung out with the family. We all hung out together with the ex-wife. Michael and I came back to Costa Rica and continued our lives here, as they continued their lives in Fiji and Australia. Years later, down the line, they ended up selling that. They kept all the money and didn't send him anything. That was the final straw of Michael and his family. His daughter previously had stolen from us. We had matching rings Michael and I got when we got together, and his daughter stole his ring out of anger and jealousy. And Michael just was done by that time. His ex-wife turned bitter. She did whatever she could to ruin Michael's life. She teamed up with the kids. They made Michael's life a living hell. They contacted every police station in every county that we visited, every county that we lived in. They contacted Interpol. They contacted the FBI. They contacted anybody and everybody they could to report Michael and create stories about Michael and to do whatever they can to get him arrested and to get him locked up and to just create a living hell for him. Because of all this, he wrote that family off, and he never thought of them again. Which is why he had such a bad relationship with his son. It took many, many years They did not talk to each other for many years. He had a bad relationship with his daughter as well. He did not talk to her for many years. She died before he could reconcile that relationship. And just by just this last few years, he wanted to reconcile with his son. And they did it all on the hush hush, all on the secretive. They kept talking to each other. They kept writing back and forth. His son came out here a few times to visit, all underneath the ex his ex-wife's nose. She didn't know anything about it. The son would not tell her that he was visiting because she had so many police reports out on Michael. She would have been super pissed off if she found out that her Matthew was here visiting his dad. She would have cut Matthew off. Matthew did not tell her because she was funding his life, and he couldn't have her cut him off of the money. This was hurtful to Michael, to know that his son wasn't proud of him. His son wasn't supporting him. His son allowed his mother to tell the family and everyone else that he did a lot of things that are not great in the eyes of the law. This is why this relationship between the two of them has been so rocky, and why Michael would have never have given any part of his life to his family or kids here that he has here to them. But I digress. It seems like on his deathbed, 3 days before Michael died, he made a will with the help of the superfan. The superfan got a lawyer to come to the hospital while he was dying, create a will for him on one of his last days alive. The will had given everything to Matthew that Michael had. And now I am in a legal battle to fight this will, as the will was made on his deathbed. The will was made with numerous issues, numerous problems, numerous inconsistencies in it. They're claiming my marriage is not legal. They are, the son, the lawyer, and the superfan are all claiming my marriage is not legal because Michael and I did not live together. Michael and I moved down here together from another country. We lived together for many years. Just this past few years we did not, because it was easier for us to live in separate homes, and it just was easier for us that way. We were very much part of each other's lives still. But the hypocrites of the superfan and his wife, who is on the will as a witness, even have themselves down as living in different addresses on the will. Kind of ironic that my marriage isn't legal because I live in a separate home, but you put both of you superfan and his wife on the will as a witness and claim they live in different homes. Very hypocritical. This has turned into a huge mess, and the superfan apparently does not want to be involved anymore. Around, let's see, was it, or I don't know, around May 5th, the superfan said he did not want to be involved anymore. He was going to relinquish whatever his name was on. He was going to give up whatever Michael had put him on. He did not want to be involved anymore. So I was told to come to the lawyer's office and talk to them and get whatever the superfan was going to relinquish. A week after Michael's passing, I went to their lawyer's office, only for her to play games. She would not give me a will by this time. A week after his death, she still would not give me the will until I went to her office. She finally gave me the will. She claims we did not try to get the will, which is a complete lie. We emailed her. My lawyer went to her office. She would not email him back. She would not give me a copy of the will. They are claiming they don't have to give me a copy of the will because my name is not on the will. And so they don't have to give me a copy. Only the people involved in the will is who they're legally have to give a copy of the will to. They've written me off as a husband before the will was made. In the will, it says Michael was single, which everyone in that room knew Michael was married. How they are claiming this is a legal will, I'm not sure. I don't understand that part of it, but we will be fighting it. I went to the medical office. I went to the hospital. I got the medical reports on Michael's diagnosis. Michael was on a cocktail of medication for all the pain he was on and all the ailments he had. And his weakened immune system was not working with the pills that they were giving him, which only escalated his issue, which is why he passed so quickly. I know for a fact on the Monday prior, Michael was in a lot of pain. Michael was asking the nurses for medication. Michael could not sit. He could not lay down. He could not eat. He had a lot of stomach pain and a lot of stomach discomfort. That was on a Monday. Tuesday was the same. Wednesday, he got diagnosed. Wednesday, the lawyer came in, made a will. Thursday, he was medicated even more. Friday, he was put on oxygen. And Saturday, I think he was put on oxygen Thursday evening. Friday, he was still on oxygen and heavily medicated. Saturday, heavily medicated, oxygen, and passed. Again, they're claiming I don't get anything as his husband because they're saying that I'm not the husband. They don't want to give me anything. Matthew's in tote with them on this. He just inherited everything. You're talking about a kid that had nothing. Not a kid, he's 40 years old, 42 years old. He has nothing in his life, nothing going for him in the States. He's a struggling actor. And all of a sudden, he's given a lot of money, a lot of cash, and a company, so he thinks. Michael's will was very plain. It was very basic. It just says Matthew gets all my worldly possessions, all my items. Nothing is itemized. Nothing at all is itemized in the will as to what Matthew gets, and therefore Matthew wants everything. Matthew's not recognizing the marriage, and he wants everything. It is all his, he says. This has become a huge legal battle over the Travel Costa Rica Now. They are claiming this is Michael's, and now it's Matthew's and Johnny's. So with that, I tell them, bring it on. This is going to be a fight for this channel. This is going to be a fight for this company. I, D'Angelo, am the legal owner of TravelCostaRicaNOW.com since 2008. I own the web domain. It is in my name. It has been in my name. It has been coming out of my bank account. It is registered to my Arizona address. I have an Arizona address. Michael has a Maine address. They can fight this all they want. They are under the assumption that this was all under Michael's name, and I changed it. And to that I say good luck to them. The records are there. I have every invoice. I have every receipt. I have my name on all of it from day one. They want the YouTube channel. YouTube is where we meet all of you guys. YouTube is where we present Costa Rica to you. YouTube is in my name. YouTube is coming to my bank account. YouTube is been going to my bank account since day one, 2008. YouTube is registered in my Arizona address, once again, going to my bank account. It isn't going to Michael's. It's never been in Michael's. And they are aware of that. Johnny's aware of it. Matthew's aware of it. They are still fighting it for some reason, and they can continue to try to fight it. But if Michael's name's not on there, it's not on there. Matthew has no rights to this. What Michael created was a corporation here with Johnny and created a travel company called TCRN US. The corporation, Sociedad Anonymous here, TCRN US, has Michael and Johnny's name on it. That name has no correlation to the Travel Costa Rica Now name in the United States. The Travel Costa Rica Now name is a separate entity that funnels its clients to the TCRN US corporation here to run business and run the clients and pay for the clients through the corporation here. They may have access and ownership of the TCRN US corporation here, but they have zero access to the TravelCostaRicaNOW.com web domain name and the YouTube videos, as it's all going to my name and always has been. And every backup email address, two-step authentication, is going to my other email addresses. Michael's name is on the YouTube as... I'm sorry guys, this is a super long video. I warned you. I hope you're all still following along. Still got another pot of coffee to go on with if you want to continue following along. I will try to speed this up, but this is a very convoluted, long story. I've got to get this out to you before this is taken down. They're trying their best to take the Travel Costa Rica Now website down and the YouTube channels down. Matthew is emailing my hosting company, claiming ownership of the hosting account. The YouTube is, I'm sure, on his radar. He's trying to get this YouTube frozen. So in the future, if you do not see me on this channel, you know why. This is why. In the future, if I am no longer posting on this channel, which I will try to post more often, I've just been going through hell this last month. I've had zero time to grieve. I've lost my partner of 21 years, and I have not had a moment to grieve, a moment to think about my next step or my day or anything at all. Every day is a struggle, but I will try to post more. I will try to get out here more. I will try to... It's a struggle. I will definitely try to be on here more. But if you don't see me on here, it is because this channel was frozen. They did what they did, talked to YouTube to get it frozen, which I didn't think would be a hard thing to do. But from what I just went through with the hosting company, it seems it all depends on what idiot they have behind the desk at the hosting company or the company involved. As I just went through hell for the last week with the hosting company. They froze my account while they investigated Matthew's claims. They informed them that Michael's name is not on the account, and that they cannot go any further with this takeover that he's trying to do of the hosting account. They need a court order from him now, claiming that this is Michael's account, which it is not, and I doubt any judge will ever give him a court order for an account that isn't his. He can't just go and claim it's his account. All the receipts are there in my name, coming from my bank accounts for the last 8 years on this account. The YouTube stuff goes even further back, since 2008. So if this is frozen, if this account is frozen, hopefully it won't last long. Hopefully I'll be back. You can check me out at TravelCostaRicaNOW.com. That I will always have. That will always be in my name. I hope to have you guys tag along with me throughout this journey, even though it's a difficult journey. It's a lot going on. I tried to talk with Matthew. We tried to not be the typical cliche fighting over family inheritance of once a loved one is gone, but that did not go well. I would say a lot of it is because of me. I wasn't ready to talk to him. I wasn't ready to listen to what they had to say, nor was I ready to give them my thoughts of what I wanted and what I was expecting from this. I was blindsided in all of this. They knew Michael was dying. Michael notified his son, and his son was the only person that was notified of his death. Johnny, the superfan, and the son were the only ones there in the hospital to be with Michael when he passed. I was not in the hospital. I was not told Michael was dying. I did not get to see Michael after his death. I did not get to claim the body. I did not get to have a funeral for him. I did not get to have a wake. I did not get to say my last goodbyes. To this day, I did not get to say anything to Michael. Where his remains are, I have no clue. I wasn't privy to be a part of that. They kept it all from me. They were trying to erase me from his life. Matthew and I haven't had a sit down, a one-on-one to talk about the dividing of any of this assets or anything, because I needed time to think about my next step, my next route, how I'm going to fight this. There's so many questions I don't have, so many questions they're not answering. Their lawyer was not a help. She tried to keep the will from me. She made the will, which doesn't look legal. It says he's single. It was made 3 days before his death, while he was on a concoction of medication. Matthew told me he wants to do what is fair. He wants to do what is right. He wants to do this channel proud and share everything 50-50 and continue his father's legacy. He asked that we split things 50-50 and move on. I wrote him back and offered him way more than 50% of his father and my assets. I offered him way more than 50%, and I told him all I want is my company. my project, my soul. I created this company. I spent 19 years of my life with Michael creating this company, building it, and that's all I want. I want my company and the banking that goes with it. He told me he wanted to talk about it. He wanted to settle it. He wanted to... He doesn't want to get the courts involved, and he would like to clear the matter up, and asked me to meet at his lawyer's office. They messaged me and asked me to go 1 hour beforehand. I told them I absolutely not. If he wants to talk to me, it's a one-on-one talk. Let's have a talk. A mano a mano. I don't want to go to his lawyer's office. He just finished telling me he didn't want to get the courts involved. He didn't want to get this. He doesn't want this to get messy. So he said, all right, he will come to La Fortuna. He will meet me in La Fortuna, and we'll have a talk. About 20 minutes before he arrives, he says he's running late, and she said to tell me that they are running late. She being his lawyer. So here I am at the restaurant, waiting for them, waiting for Matthew to have a one-on-one, and he's ambushing me with his lawyer. She gets there, and not only is it her, but they bring a second lawyer. A second bulldog lawyer. They're both scowling and mad-dogging me, and then lay into me. Start threatening me, and start telling me all this stuff they're going to do to me. They're taking me to court here. They're taking me to court in the United States. They're pressing charges on me everywhere. They're changing accounts, for not giving back the YouTube and the Gmail. Their lawyers are just completely threatening me and trying to intimidate me. I didn't allow it. I told them do whatever they need to do whatever they want to do. I found it highly unprofessional that they came and ambushed me. Didn't even give me time to get my own legal representation. They are fighting this fight, and the lawyers are egging him on that I have no right at all for any of this on a company that I created, a company that I made with my husband. They are egging him on in the belief that the marriage is not going to stick. This is Costa Rica. Whether Michael wanted me in his life or not, we were married. Whether Michael and I were fighting or not, we were still married. Michael could not give anything away without itemizing it and writing it down. We were a married couple in this country. I'm not sure where his lawyer is going with telling him that this is not going to stick, this is not going to fly. But thanks for all the legal problems and the legal battles. It's not what I need, but this lawyer is looking out for her own best interests, and that's about it. So at the moment, the son is going around with this will, and he now has access to all the banking, all the company banking, all the personal banking, all the... he's living in Michael's apartment, in Michael's car, going through Michael's phone, going with a fine-tooth comb through Michael and my conversations throughout the years to each other, all our intimate conversations. Lots of personal, private information, photos, videos. We're two horny husbands talking to each other from a distance, sending each other lots of photos and videos, which I'm not ashamed of. I know he wasn't either, but I guess enjoy the videos, Matthew. There's other stories to that I guess we can talk about one day on Matthew's enjoyment of stuff. But yeah, enjoy those videos. Michael was a diary writer. He wrote into a diary every other day, every week. Michael mostly wrote into his diary when he was angry. He had his own just personal journals throughout the years. There was lots of personal journals that Michael had. And now Matthew's going through all the personal journals, reading all of Michael's personal thoughts, all mine and Michael's personal conversation stories that Michael wrote down about us. Trying to get any evidence he can to smear me as much as he can in the courts, in the legal system, in the eyes of the YouTubers. This has become a huge mess upon messes upon messes. So, this is extremely long. I do apologize. I've got to get this all out to let you guys know what's happening with this channel, the future of this channel. This channel will either be erased by YouTube or frozen by YouTube or given to the hands of a super fan and a spoiled brat. An arrogant, narcissistic prick. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm here to continue the journey, to continue what I started, and to bring you guys better information than this on Costa Rica. This is a video I would have never liked to have put out. I told Michael not to put out the last video he did on his problems he had with Bert, aka Alan. But times I guess these videos are needed. As far as the relocation retreats go, Michael started up these relocation retreats with Sarah Elena. They teamed up together to create the Michael and Sarah relocation retreats down here in Costa Rica, and they were a big success. They just had their last one 2 weeks ago. It was a full house. It was completely sold out. It was at a bad time as Michael had just passed, and I was completely trying to grieve, trying to fight these battles, trying to make some sort of assembly of my life. But I stepped up and I messaged Sarah and I told her I would like to show up to the retreat throughout the week and fill in for Michael. I will be taking over the company, and it's only right that I show up to the retreat and I help out as much as I could and to replace Michael and do for his part in this retreat. I got a very short 2-sentence back from Sarah saying, "Do not show up." Talk about a punch to the gut. My husband just died. My company brought the majority of the clients here at your retreat. I am a great representation to fill in for Michael and for the company as the company's co-founder and as Michael's husband. I would have been a great replacement to fill in for him. But she asked me not to show up because Johnny and Matthew were there. She sided with Johnny and she sided with Matthew. Johnny filled her in on whatever stories Johnny had. Johnny was part of the retreat as well. Obviously not as big of a portion as he ended up doing, but because of Michael's passing, Johnny filled in for Michael. The superfan has clawed himself further into the company. There was, for all the Travel Costa Rica Now clients that showed up to this retreat because of Travel Costa Rica Now, I want to apologize. You did not have great representation. I'm pretty sure your retreat was great. I'm sure you had a good time. I did not show up out of respect for you guys after being told not to. It is a shame you got zero Travel Costa Rica Now representation on an event that you came down here for. It is a shame Sarah sided with Johnny without listening to anything else. I'd have to say, in the future of the TravelCostaRicaNOW.com and the Travel Costa Rica Now team and the relocation retreats, Travel Costa Rica Now will no longer be working with Sarah Elena. TravelCostaRicaNOW.com and its team will no longer be working with Johnny the Superfan from Johnny Knows Nothing. We will continue to do relocation retreats. We will not be doing them this year, unfortunately. I've got to regroup. There's just so much I'm going through at the moment. I cannot plan a retreat. I cannot be part of one right now. We will come back. We will definitely keep you all updated. We will definitely have more retreats. We will not be doing them with Sarah. We will not be doing them with anyone involved with the superfan and his takeover of this company. To all you YouTubers out there, I want to thank you for your years of support. This is a hard battle. This is a long battle. This is a very costly battle. I don't have access to any of the company money. I don't have access to any of the personal banking. The superfan has those. I'm going to need all the help I can get from you guys. I'm pouring my heart out and asking you to please support me. To please donate. To please donate whatever you can. I can use all the help I can get, even if it's $1. $1 will go a long way for me right now. Legal bills are adding up. The website bills are adding up. I have to I had to change hosting companies. I was with HostGator. They froze my account. I find that unacceptable. I've deleted my account from them, and I am now hosting with another company. If you have an account with HostGator, I would recommend getting rid of them. They froze my account without any proof that somebody else owned it. So, again, please, if you can, donate. I have a Buy Me a Coffee down below in the links. I have PayPal. If, the links will be down below. I'll put a QR code here for you. I will. Not sure if I'll have a Patreon by the time I upload this. And anything will help support this channel, please. If you cannot donate, if you do not have the funds to help donate, I ask that you comment. Comment in this video. Comment anything. Comment, "We love Costa Rica," to let me know you support me. Comment on my other videos. Share the videos. Share this channel. Get the word out there. Travel Costa Rica Now is still here for you. I ask for your help. I ask for your support. This is going to be a long and bumpy ride. I will bring you with me every step of the way. I am going to fight this. I am not going to sit down silently. Thank you guys for listening. Until the next time, I'll be back and keep you informed. I'm D'Angelo for TravelCostaRicaNOW.com. Peace, guys.